Yes, we will start with our today's class. See, before going for electrochemistry, one problem I wanted to do for from the coordination compounds. Okay, so the last topic what we have discussed was about stability constant. If you can recall, we have done about stability constant for coordination compounds. Okay, how to calculate the overall stability. So just remember the formula, that would be enough. So if you can recall, I had told you that when metal combines with the four ligands, this was the example which I had taken. Okay, when metal combines with four ligand, then what you get, the complex will be Ml4 type. Okay, so this will be the complex, and when you write stepwise stability constant, it will be K1, K2, because there are four ligands. So you can write the stepwise stability constant. So that will be like for one ligand, it will be K1. Second ligand, when it combines, it will be K2. Third ligand, if they are going to combine, and then when you are writing the constant, it will be K3, and then finally it will be K4. Okay, so this was the stepwise stability constant. Then you can combine all this and write it together. That will be called as overall stability constant. Since there are four ligands, we can write it in this way: beta 4 is equal to, okay, this value, beta 4 value can be written for overall, means for this particular step, the last equation, when you are taking, no, when all the four ligands are combining together, this is the equation what we get. Okay, overall when you are writing. So I can write here beta 4, okay, this way, that is the product divided by the concentration of the reactant. No, so ml m, then lr4, no, so l to the power 4 you can write. Okay, this is how you write the overall stability constant. But this you can calculate stepwise, and when you multiply this K1 into K2 into K3 and K4, okay, so when you multiply all these values step by step, okay, when you are combining with one ligand like M plus one ligand, okay, then you will get Ml, and then you are taking ml, then you combine with the next ligand, you will get ml2. That will be K2 value. Okay, when you are writing like this, divide the product divided by the reactant. Okay, when you write it like this, you will get it. Okay, so I will not go for it. So this is called as overall stability constant, which is product of stepwise stability constant. Okay, you see how many ligands are there, so many you will be able to get. Suppose if there are n number of ligand, then we can write as beta n is equal to K1 into K2 into K3, so on, and then Kn. Okay. So when we are having large number of ligands combined together, then the stability constant will be in this way. So higher the value of this stability constant, more stable will be that particular complex. So you can compare which particular complex is more stable. So you have to just compare the values between two of them. Whichever gives you a higher value, that means that is more stable. That complex which is formed is more stable than compared to the another one. Okay. So that is what the beta value gives you. So stability constant, you remember, this is beta. Now we can even calculate the dissociation constant. Stability means whether they are able to associate with the ligand, whether the metal gets associated with the ligand, and if they are getting associated, how stable are they? That is stability constant. You can even name them as association constant. Okay, because they are associating with the ligand. No, metals are associating with the ligand. So how stable they are, that is B value, beta value. Okay, so you can calculate the dissociation constant, means how easily they can break down. That will be reciprocal of the stability constant. Okay, so how we write this is beta is written as 1 by K. Okay, so here this K stands for the stability constant, but 1 divided by K when you write, that will be dissociation constant. It is also called as instability constant. Okay, instability constant. So you can calculate the instability constant by taking the reciprocal of it. Okay, reciprocal of the stability constant, when you do, you'll be able to get instability constant, also called as dissociation constant. Okay, this is also called as dissociation constant. So it is nothing but it's a reciprocal of the formation constant or association constant. Okay, so this explains this dissociation constant is there, no, that tells you about how easily that complex will break down into their metal and the ligand in the solution. Okay, if they are able to break down easily, that means the particular complex is not that stable. Okay, that we can calculate, I said, by taking reciprocal of the association constant. You can calculate instability constant. So if I have to write K value here, so that K is equal to 1 divided by beta. Okay. So using this constant only, we'll go for working out the problem. You can directly take down the problem because only one problem you are having for your syllabus. Okay. So you can write down, students, calculate the overall complex dissociation equilibrium constant for the complex is given, that is Cu NH3 twice 2 plus 4 2 plus, okay, ions, given that beta 4 for the complex is 21 2.1 into 10 to the power 13. Okay, this is the problem. Calculate the overall complex dissociation equilibrium constant for the complex is given CuNH3 2 plus ion, given that beta 4 for the complex is so much. So values are given to you. You just have to do the reciprocal. Okay, so we will go for working out. So if you want to calculate the dissociation constant of it, okay, overall dissociation constant, you write how the question is given, okay, overall complex dissociation equilibrium constant. So that is equal to, K is equal to, I said, reciprocal of the association constant. Okay, so 1 divided by beta 4, because here they are combined with 4 ligands. So you check out how many ligands are there. So much you write the value. Okay, beta suffix value you will write based on how many ligands they have combined with. Here 4 ligands are there, so it will be beta 4. If suppose it was 2, you will write 1 divided by beta 2. Okay, suffix will be 2. So your 1 divided by beta 4 values anyways they have given, that is 2.1 into 10 to the power 13. So you divide 1 by 2.1. Just divide and see how much you are getting when you are dividing 1 by 2.1. I think you will get something as 0.47. Yes, 0.476, correct. No, this you take up. 10 to the power plus 13 will become minus 13. There is no unit for it because it's a constant value. Okay. Yes, you can shift it and then write. If you want, you can shift it. If you are shifting it, you will get 4.76 into 10 to the power minus 14. Yes, I'll continue. So we will start with the electrochemistry, students, a revision part of it. So initial one, what you have, okay, I'm starting with this, how to represent this cell, because in the problem also they can ask you to represent a particular cell. Okay, so here I've taken this question first. That is zinc plus Cu2 plus ion giving Zn2 plus copper. Okay, so it's a Daniell cell equation. Now how will you represent this particular cell? Okay, so when you are representing, you need to remember first what you are going to write is the anode half cell. Okay, once you write the anode half cell, then there is a salt bridge. and then you have to start with the cathode half cell. Okay, now in the anode half cell also, which one to write first? You will write the anode electrode first. Okay, the electrode part has to be written first, and then you have to mention in which state they are. Okay, the physical state of that has to be mentioned. So electrodes are in the solid state, so you write as solid, and then you have to write the anode solution. See, first we are writing the anode part, and then you are writing the anode solution, the ions which are there in the solution, and then mirror image of that. Okay, that side you are having cathode part, then you will write cathode solution first. Okay, the ions which are there in the solution you will write first, so that is from the cathode side, and then you will write the cathode electrode. Okay, that is cathode. So this is the order you need to follow when you are doing any cell representation. Okay, anode half cell you write first, because oxidation has been done over there, and then from there the electrons will start flowing towards the cathode side. So this is how the electrons are flowing, so even you will represent in that similar fashion as well. Okay, so anode half cell, salt bridge, then cathode half cell has to be written afterwards. When you are writing anode half cell, I'll repeat once again, first you have to write the anode part first, mention in which state of matter they are, then you will write the anode solution, okay, the ion form, and see what are the charges they are carrying, the valency of it. Okay, and then write they are, since they are in the solution, you will write aqueous. Okay, then after that we have salt bridge, this double bar you can see, that is for salt bridge. Then you go for cathode solution, and then you will write the cathode part of it. Okay, so this is the order you need to follow. Okay, then after that, Nernst equation, after that you have, after the cell representation you are having the Nernst equation. So how is the Nernst equation? The Nernst equation is given as E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 divided by N log of product divided by reactant. Okay, this is the Nernst equation. You by heart this equation, okay, because you are having only 3 equations to study to work out the problem. So you can directly by heart this particular equation. E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 by N log of product divided by reactant. So initially you have reactant here. Okay, but then when you're working out the problem, always they will give you that value. Okay, the concentration will be given to you, so you will understand. Reactant side you see which has like they have given the value, that has to be written for the reactant, and then this side always we have the product. Okay, product you always have towards your right hand side. So there also one value in which ion they have given the value, that is the one which you need to substitute here for the product. Okay, and the product divided by reactant. So this is the equation. Now the same equation, how will you write for the Daniell cell? Okay, Daniell cell equation is this way. Zinc undergoes oxidation giving you Zn2 plus ion, and copper undergoes reduction giving you Cu2 plus 2 Cu. Okay, so for this you have to write the Nernst equation. Okay, so Nernst equation, this is how the equation is, no? E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 by N log of product divided by reactant. Okay, write this equation first, and then you substitute what is there on the reactant side and what is there on the product side. Now you have to just represent the Daniell cell. So product, which one is there now? Product side you can see zinc ions, okay, the one which are there in the ion. So your Zn2 plus are in the product side, and then reactant side you can see here copper. Okay, copper ions are there on the reactant side. So you represent here E cell is equal to E naught cell minus, now N value you need to find. N stands for the number of electron they have lost or gained during the reaction. You can see here from zinc to get converted to Zn2 plus, how many electrons they have lost, you can find out. Now here coefficient is 1, okay. 1 mole of zinc has lost 2 electrons, okay, means 2 moles of electrons are lost. So N value is 2. Here also coefficient is 1. 1 Cu2 plus has received that 2 electron to get converted to Cu. Okay, so from this you can understand, if the coefficient is 1, no problem, you can see directly the charge and then write down. But if the coefficient is different, then you have to multiply that coefficient with the charge. Okay, keep that in mind. Multiply the coefficient with the charge. I will take that example also. Okay, so here that should be kept in mind for calculating the N value. Okay, so here N value, everywhere the coefficient is 1, so you can directly see the charge and write. So your N value is equal to 2, no problem, N is 2. So we have substituted 2 here. Rest other values we don't have, no, because we are just representing this radial cell. Okay, if they have given, you substitute, or else you keep it as it is. 0.059 divided by 2 log of Zn2 plus divided by Cu2 plus. Okay, this is the Nernst equation representation. It was asked in the exam. In your board exam, they have asked this. Okay, next one, I will directly go for taking out the problem. I hope you are doing along with me. I want you all to work out along with me. Only then you will get a practice. Okay, you will get a hand of it only if you work out. If you are just looking on the screen, you may either lose your concentration, you will get diverted, you will not be able to do. Okay, you will not understand, students. So that is the reason I am telling you should be there with when I am telling you something, you should be able to get that thing. Okay, now we will start with the problem. Represent the cell in which the following reaction is given to you. So your magnesium solid and then 2 ions of silver is getting converted, like they are giving you magnesium product side, we are having magnesium ion and then 2 silver. Okay, what you need to calculate is E cell. E naught cell is given to you. Okay, so here the formula what you are going to use is E cell means you have only the Nernst equation. Okay, so we can make use of the Nernst equation and calculate this. Okay, so this is the cell equation we are having. All these are the problem part itself. Okay, we have not started working out. So these are the problem part which we have. Okay, next, write the Nernst equation. First, starting with the solution. When you start the solution, first you write the equation because that will fetch you 1 mark. So here you will get 1 mark. If the problem is out of 3 marks, you will get 1 mark here for writing it correctly. Okay, so here, no, cell representation only if they ask you. Okay, here they have given the cell. This is the whole problem. Okay, till here is a problem. Above this, where I have written the solution, till here the problem is given to you. If they ask you represent the cell, then you have to represent. Okay. So here, okay. Now we have written the equation. Okay, that is the formula for Nernst equation. Now you need to substitute. Okay. Can you tell me what is the n value here? Everybody? What is the n value? Yes, very good. N value is 2. Everyone agrees. No, see from here. Magnesium 2, see the oxidized one. Magnesium 2, magnesium 2 plus. That means they have lost 2 electrons. And that 2 lost electrons are taken by 2 silver ions. So here you see the coefficient 2 is there. So 2 into 1 is 2. Okay. So that is how you identify. So n value is 2. We can substitute n value 2. Product, that is magnesium ion. Okay. This side you have, towards the right hand side what you have, that is a product. Towards the left hand side what you have, that is a reactant. Okay. And then if you find the coefficient over there, that you have to write as power of that reactant, or even if you find them written in the product side also, whatever coefficient is there, that you have to write as power. Remember. So here we will substitute and write. So E cell is equal to E naught cell minus n value we have got as 2, 0.059 by 2. Log of product is magnesium. Okay, magnesium Mg2 plus divided by silver ion. But how many silvers are there? 2 silver ion is there. So power is coming as 2. Okay. And now you substitute the values. Whatever values are given to us, we will do the substitution of that. Okay. I hope that this much is clear and you have written also. Equation we wrote, formula we wrote for Nernst equation. Then we have done the substitution of what is the n value. You need to calculate that n value which will not be given to you in the problem. You need to identify that. Seeing how many electrons they have lost and how many electrons are gained. Okay, so that is n value. N value here comes out to be 2. Okay, then you see what is the product. Magnesium ion is a product, so I have written magnesium. Silver is a reactant, so silver is here. Okay, and see the coefficient, that will come as power. Okay, so much is over. Now we will do the substitution of that values also. Okay, this was the equation which we took. So 3.17 was E naught cell value is given to you. Sometimes E naught cell value will not be given. Instead of that, 2 values will be given to you. So in that case, what you have to do is higher value minus the lower value. Okay, positive value you take first. I'm making it very simple and then trying to tell you. Okay, how will you remember that? is higher value minus the lower value. Means positive values will come first usually. But if both are negative value, you need to check out which is the higher one and which is the lower one. Okay. So here E naught cell is directly given to us. So we have done the substitution. So 3.17 minus 0.059 by 2 log of magnesium ion value was so much 0.130 divided by 0.0001 whole square. Okay. Then you need to find the log. I hope you all remember how to calculate the log. Still I have put here side. Okay, if you don't know how to calculate the log using the calculator, these are the steps which you need to follow. First, you will type the number, whatever is you are going to get here, no? The number, whatever you get over here, 0.13 divided by 0.001, again divide by 0.001 square, no? So means double time you can divide in your calculator. Since you are using a basic calculator, if you have twice the number getting repeated in the denominator, you divide it. Okay, 2 times you can divide it. And then you will get one answer. That answer you type here to calculate. Okay, type that answer here. Press the root symbol 15 times, then do -1 and then divide it by 0.000702771. No, they will give you. Log book will be given to you in the exam. Okay, don't worry. That will be given. So in that you will be having the log part also and even anti-log also. So once you come back to college, I will teach you how to find with the book also if you want. Okay. Before your exams, how to find out log and anti-log using the log table, that also I will teach you. Okay, yes, now I will continue with this. So type this number, press the root symbol 15 times, -1 and then divide. I hope you are able to get the answer. Are you all there? 3.17 minus 0.059 by 2. This is the answer, no? I hope you are able to get 7.113 something. Then you multiply this. Altogether, you will get 0.21, I guess. Okay. And final value after subtraction, it is 2.96. Getting student, just let me know whether you have got so much. Okay, fine. I hope you have got it. So 2.96 volt, correct. Very good. So whenever you get log, you divide, follow these steps, answer you will get, multiply and then subtract, you will get the answer. Okay. Okay, now next one, second type, I have taken only one problem each so that you get to know how to work out. Okay. And problems are of similar type, only the values will be different. That's it. So you should be thorough with the concept, not to by heart anything. Okay, next one is equilibrium constant. Using the Nernst equation, equilibrium constant and the E cell equations are there. No, that how is the relationship? So your equilibrium constant means you know that here that E cell value will become 0 because everything will be at equilibrium, so you don't find any reaction happening. Okay, so then in that case E cell value will be 0. So you substitute here E cell value as 0. So when you substitute this as 0, this E naught cell value will come this side. No, so it will get minus. See, it will become like this. Minus E naught cell is equal to minus 0.059 by n log of product divided by reactant. Okay, this is how the equation will be. Now this minus and minus I can cancel. No, so you'll get E naught cell is equal to 0.059 by n log of Kc. That product by reactant we are taking as Kc. This is how you write the constant value, no? Product divided by reactant. Okay, so that you replace and put K value there. That's it. This is the equation. Okay. For equilibrium constant and E naught cell, this is the equation which you need to remember. So if you know the Nernst equation, no, only there what you need to do the changes, E cell value will become 0. So take that as 0 and shift this one on that side. Yes, now talking about the problem, calculating the equilibrium constant for the reaction. So your copper plus 2 silver ion giving Cu2 plus 2 Ag. So E naught cell is equal to 0.46 volt. This is given to you. So we will start with the solution. First write the equation, that is E naught cell is equal to 0.059 by n log of Kc. K has to be found out. Equilibrium constant you need to find. So K is a question mark to you. This has to be found out. Okay. Now what is given to you is E naught cell. This value is given to us. E naught cell we have. N value you need to calculate. You can see that equation and find out. Yes, Cu2 plus. You can see here N value is 2. Okay, so we can take N value is equal to 2. Now do the substitution. Okay, direct substitution it is. So E naught cell is 0.46 is equal to 0.059 by 2 log of Kc. Now take all these numbers to that side and then keep log Kc on the other side. So log Kc we have kept it here. So 0.46 into 2 divided by 0.059. Okay, when you divide, you will get this as the answer. So log Kc is equal to 15.59 you will get. And log you take to the other side. Log when you are taking to the other side, what happens is they convert into anti-log. Okay. So they become anti-log on the other side. So anti-log of this answer, that is 15.59. Now when you are taking anti-log, students, see whatever numbers you are having in the beginning, no, whatever number you have in the beginning, that should be taken as a power. Remember, whatever numbers are there before the decimal, now here 15 is there, and then after that you are having 0.59. So that means it is 15 plus 0.59. Okay, so whatever you are getting in the initial, that you will take as power. So here this will get converted into 10 to the power 15. So directly in the answer you can write this as 10 to the power 15. Now for the next thing, what you need to calculate is anti-log of 0.59. Okay, because I said 15 will get converted to power. So 0.59, for that we need to find the anti-log. Okay, so how will you find the anti-log? Anti-log is exactly opposite to log. Not only exactly like you are going to do the values opposite, even the operation what you are going to do should be opposite. Okay, there if you can remember, we have typed the number. Then what we did, we took the root symbol 15 times. Then I told you -1 and then divide by 0.00700271. Now here ulta we are going to do. Okay. So that division now will become multiplied and that last one will become now first one. Okay. See, this is what we did that time. First what we did is we typed the number for log. See, type the number. Then second step I told you, you have to press the root symbol, okay, 15 times. Root symbol we have pressed for 15 times. Then I said you have to do -1. Then divided by 0.000070271. Okay. So here this is what we followed for log. For log. Okay. Now for anti-log, your operation should become opposite. And the way of doing also should be opposite, I'm saying. So this divided will become multiplied. Okay. And then you will follow them in the reverse order. First we did this, no? Now you have to do the last one first. Okay. And change the operation. Divided, you will make them multiplied. Then this -1 will become +1. And then you have to press into equal to cancel that root. It is into equal to 15 times. Okay. Then you will get the answer. Whatever answer you get, that is the final one. Okay. I think, yeah, 3.89 something you'll get, approximately 3.9. And the number which we had before the decimal, that I said will come as power. This is the answer. Okay. So Kc is equal to so much is the answer. Okay, next one is the Gibbs energy equation, electrochemical cell, E naught cell and Gibbs energy relationship, that is delta G naught is equal to, this R is for reaction, this you can ignore. You can directly write delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught cell. Okay, this is the equation for Gibbs energy change and the standard electrode potential equation. Okay, so this relationship you can remember. In that, F is the Faraday's constant, which is taken as 96500 approximately. Okay, 96500, and then E naught cell will be given to you. N value you need to calculate. Okay, this is very simple one. Okay, there's this relationship and the problem also. See, now your equation, we will work out the problem based on this, based on that equation of Gibbs energy. The standard electrode potential is given to you, okay, of the Daniell cell, that is 1.1 volt, and you need to calculate the standard Gibbs energy for the cell reaction, and F value is given. Okay, sometimes they will not give you F value, then you remember it is 96500. It's always better to know the values. Simply don't take a chance. Okay, so your F is 96500. So this is our standard Daniell cell equation, zinc plus copper ion giving you zinc ion and copper. So net cell equation is given to us. This is given. If they don't give you, you need to write. If they ask only, otherwise not required. Okay, so here what is N value? You can find out. We have done that before also. Zinc to Zn2 plus N value becomes 2. Okay, then take the equation delta G naught is equal to minus F minus NF E naught cell. N value is 2, so is equal to, we can substitute minus 2 into 96, F value is 96500 into E naught cell is 1.1. Then when you multiply, this is the answer you will get, minus 2.12300 joule per mole, because these values are per mole of electron. We are doing the calculation for mole, so joule per mole you write. Okay, we'll go for next one. This you all try, students, and tell me what is the answer you are getting. Work out by yourself, be sincere, and then work out and tell me what is the N value and what is the G value you will be getting. Calculate the standard Gibbs energy change for the following reaction, where this equation is given to you: magnesium, 3 magnesium plus 2 aluminium ion giving you 3 Mg2 plus 2 aluminium. Okay, so from here you need to identify what is the N value. So you can take the ion over here, aluminium 3 plus, okay, and then how many aluminium are there? Like that, 2 aluminiums are there. Yes, very good. So that means N value is equal to, correct, yeah, few of them are answering, correct, very good. So N value is equal to 6, correct, no, because 2 into 3, 2 3s are 6. So N value is equal to 6 here. So I hope it is clear. Now, next, what are the things which we require? According to the equation, delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught cell value is required. Okay, so N value anyways we got now from the equation, we were able to identify. Next thing, yeah, Faraday's, see that number is not given to you, a constant number is not given, so you need to remember. Okay, some equations I said in the problems they don't give, so it's better if you remember. Now E naught cell. Okay, how to calculate the E naught cell? Which value you have to take first now? Whether it is aluminium or the magnesium ion. To calculate the E naught value, which will come first? Aluminium or magnesium? Yes, very good. Aluminium has to come first. Okay, aluminium has to come first. Why? Because see, always the positive ones are written first, then the negative one. But now here both are negative. So if both are negative, in that, which will be more negative? That will come afterwards. Okay, which is less negative will come first. So your minus 1.66 in the number line. If you still get confused, you see the number line. Okay, so I said always the higher positive one should come first. Okay, like if this is the number line 0, 1, 2, and then here we have 1 and then minus 1 and then minus 2. Correct, no? So in this, when you're going for a negative value, you know -1 is greater than compared to -2. Okay, so that is the reason why here this -1.66 is greater than compared to -2.37. Okay, in the negative cases, smaller values are bigger. Positive, anyways, you all know that you will not get confused. Okay, so when you're taking -1.66 will come first. So you do that calculation, and this minus and minus will become plus. So final answer is 0.71. Very good. And then from here n value we have got, that is 6. Substitute now directly. -6 into 96500 into 0.71. When you multiply, yes, correct. Minus this much is the answer per mole. Okay. I hope you will not have a problem in working out this. These 3 problems, you will not do mistakes. Study this very thoroughly, even for your board exams. Okay, now next is, see here, from this part, 1 or 1 mark question usually they ask. Okay, from this part you can expect a question. Like they will give you a few values and they will ask you which is the strongest oxidizing or reducing agent. Important questions. See, important questions, like you want me to tell important questions from the whole thing, is it? From all the 4 chapters or only from electrochemistry? Everything. Okay. So listen, if you want important questions, yeah, quickly I will tell you all the chapters. No. Okay, here itself I will write. Okay. See, from coordination, study VBT thoroughly. Only 4 complex are there. VBT, fixed questions I will tell you first. Okay, which will be surely asked for your exam. VBT. 4 complex are there. 1 complex will be asked. Okay, from here 1 will be a sure question for 3 marks. From this side. And then this is a fixed one, but still in that, what else you can study is about Werner's postulate. Okay, Werner's postulates are important. And then you can go for CFT. This is fixed one. Okay, and then this you study first. These are, like I am telling, about important. Werner's, then CFT. For octahedral you concentrate more. This is enough, like very important, I will tell you first. Okay, now going for the next chapter. Okay, let me tell you about electrochemistry. You have 3 different types of problem. Yes, there will be, usually what they do is either they ask you VBT or CFT. Either it is VBT or CFT. And from here, electrochemistry, what you can study, concentrate on problems. Okay, these 3 types of problem I told you. Then apart from problem, you study SHE, standard hydrogen electrode. Okay, standard hydrogen electrode. Then what are the products formed? Product which are formed from molten NaCl and aqueous NaCl. Aqueous NaCl. From here, what are the different products you are expecting? And then molar conductivity. Molar conductivity, how does it vary? And Kohlrausch law. Okay, Kohlrausch law. And the problems related to this, Kohlrausch law. Okay, this you can concentrate in electrochemistry, including the problem. Surface chemistry, you study the differences. Difference you study for physisorption, chemisorption difference. Then adsorption difference, adsorption. Then lyophilic, lyophobic difference is there, no? Lyophobic. After that, shape selective catalyst, because in catalyst part only this is there. Okay, so it's better if you can concentrate on shape selective catalyst with example. Shape selective catalyst. With example you study. Okay, what is a shape selective catalyst? Zeolite is the example for it. And peptization, and then different ways of doing coagulation. Okay, methods of coagulation. Boiling method is there, electrophoresis method is there. By adding the opposite electrolyte, then in that only you get Hardy-Schule rule. Okay, that you study, Hardy-Schule rule, that's important. So this part you can concentrate in surface chemistry, even adsorption isotherm also. Okay, adsorption isotherm, and the equation, Friendlich adsorption isotherm equation is there, no? That part. Then colloid, that is for 1 mark, that table which is there, no? The name of that colloid, if dispersed phase is this dispersion medium, that would be for 1 mark, we can ask. And then, which is the next chapter, D and F. D and F, lanthanoid contraction, you study thoroughly. Okay, lanthanoid contraction. So lanthanoid contraction. Then after that, D and F block, why they exhibit color, magnetic property, and if two ions are given to you, in that they can ask you which is magnetic in nature, which is diamagnetic in nature. Okay, that magnetic property can be asked, paramagnetic or diamagnetic, to identify which can exhibit color among the complex. Color, magnetic property, and then oxidation state, which element has highest oxidation state, and why that they are able to show different oxidation state, why D block and F block. Then study the general outer electronic configuration for D and F both. Okay, general electronic configuration, EC I will write, electronic configuration study for D and F both. Okay, then why they form complexes, why do they form complex, and what are interstitial compound. Okay, complex part, complex, how do they form, reason for them to form complex. Then interstitial, then what else you have in D and F block. Yeah, these are like very important. ZSM5 is it? What does it represent? See, ZSM5 represents for, Z is for zeolite. Okay, zeolite, it is called as Soconi, and then mobile. This 5 stands for the pore size. Okay, there are different pore size, it seems. So depending on that size, there are different values. So that 5 stands for the pore size. So zeolite, Soconi, and then M for mobile. 5 for pentagon, that I'm not very sure. Okay, 5, whether it is for pentagon. They say, like, as far as I have read, yeah, maybe, I think so. Pore size, yes. Pore shape, yeah. Okay, yeah, correct. That 5 may be standing for that pore shape. 5-sided, yes. Difference between actinides and lanthanoids you need not study. Only concentrate on lanthanoid contraction and what are the causes of it. Okay, need not study. Okay, these are like very important. Concentrate on these things first, then you can go for that 1 mark questions are there, no? The remaining 1 mark, you can concentrate on that. And here also, like, which is oxidizing agent and which is reducing agent, this question you can expect from here. Okay, I'll give you one question, see whether you're able to answer that. Which of the following, see, more the positive value, easily like they can take the electron, means they are very good oxidizing agent. Okay, remember that. Higher the reduction potential, they reduce themselves easily. They will be at the cathode side and they are strong oxidizing agent like fluorine who can take the electron easily. Okay. So you will see that they are having positive value. Positive values means they will easily undergo reduction. Negative values means you can remember in that way. More the negative value means they can lose the electron easily. So here I will give you few values. You have to tell me which is the strongest reducing agent in that. Like zinc, 2 plus to Zn, this is a value given to you, minus 0.76. Now nickel, 2 plus to nickel, minus 0.25 volt. And then silver, Ag plus to Ag, 0.80. You have to identify which is the strongest reducing agent among this. Zinc or nickel or silver. Reducing means they should be able to give the electrons easily. Yes, more is the negative value, more easily they will be able to donate that electron. Okay, good. Zinc is the answer. Okay, zinc is the answer. Good reducing agent means who can give the electron easily and they will have low standard reduction potential. Lower means minus value. Higher the minus value, that means lower reduction potential, no? Yes, zinc is the answer. Okay, so this type of question you can expect from that chart, or that is for 1 mark compulsory part. You can expect this question. Yes, students, all the best for your exam. I think it's almost time. I will stop here. And if anything is there, you can ask me personally. If you have any doubt, okay, then we shall wind up here.